Luther's Small Catechism with Explanation. The Black and Maroon edition, copyright 2017, from Concordia Publishing House.
The sixth commandment: you shall not commit adultery. What does this mean? We should fear and love God so that we lead a sexually pure and decent life in what we say and do, and husband and wife love and honor each other.
Question 70 from the sixth commandment. What does our created nature, natural law, teach us about marriage? Human beings are by nature male or female. According to the pattern of nature itself, a new life cannot be conceived without a man and a woman. The most natural setting for the care of the baby who is born is for the child to be cared for by his or her mother and father, who have committed themselves to each other and to their child. This natural pattern has been the basis for marriages and families throughout all of human history and every human culture. 202, Genesis 5:1-2. This is the book of the generations of Adam. God created man. He made him in the likeness of God. Male and female, he created them. And he blessed them and named them man when they were created. What does this mean? So when you're looking at what marriage is about, and what family is about, and what even sexuality is about, you have to look at some different categories of things. The first category we look at as Christians is we look at what does God's word say? How is he revealed to us in his word what this means? So sometimes that supersedes some of the other categories, but for the most part, they flow from one another in our world. When sin enters in, sometimes the other categories are messed up. But the first one is God's word. What does it say about marriage? What does it say about sexuality? What does it say about gender? The second is we look at the natural law or creation. And this always backs up the first category of the theology of things. But the natural law talks about how are we male and female based on looking at creation, looking at observing what we would call science or good science for things. And when we look at that way, that we as humans are created and made in a way where we can reproduce with a male and a female. It's an amazing and astounding process, and can't go all into it right now, but this ability for us to have children really is a miracle in many, many ways. And you need a male and you need a female, and that's how our genes are passed on to the next generation. And that's how families are made. That's what biology is in its simplest form. What happens in our world today is politics and what people would say their own ideologies try to overarch these things. So they say, well, we can have whatever gender we want. I'm like, well, no, science, nature actually proves that you can't, that you are actually male or female. Now, there are some aberrations from that, whether you'd say they're a mutation or a problem, that's sin, that's issues. But in base nature, it's male and female. And you go back to God's word and you say, of course, it's male and female. That's the way God made us. That's the way babies should be had. That's the natural order of things. And it's a good order. Now, once again, sin enters in and messes that up. It doesn't give us the excuse to sin, but sometimes we have to recognize that our genes are flawed, that maybe even the birthing process is flawed, or how we have babies are flawed. Sometimes you can't have a child. Sometimes you can't have a family. So you try alternative means of maybe using some science to help out with this, or even adoption, which is a wonderful thing because there's so many kids without parents. And so to look at this is that one theology, and the next is you look at the natural law to say, oh, being a mom, being a dad is a good thing. Having babies is a good thing. Male and female is a good thing.
The Lord bless your day as well as your week.